Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, it's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rekak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing his truth and believing his truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Outwatch who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from Jim Messalano, coming at you on the lesson. In truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification, Lord willing, be edified. So I titled this lesson, Words break bones like sticks and stones. They hurt. So, let me read this. This is copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit educational or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. So, again, I titled this lesson, Words break bones like sticks and stones, they hurt. And this is an article that the elder from Alabama was going into last night. The elder from Alabama, Awaram, and the brother Barak and the brother Dawud was going into this article right here. Say, UK government prosecutors argue parts of Bible no longer appropriate in modern society. Right? Let me see how old this is. So it don't say. I don't know how old this is. So it say again, UK government prosecutors argue parts of Bible no longer appropriate in modern society. Oh, it say November 28, 2022, right? It say lawyers for the Crown Prosecution Service of England and Wales tried to have a Christian street preacher convicted for quoting the Bible to a lesbian couple, insisting that scripture is no longer appropriate in modern society. Okay? It's in the UK. I'm gonna read some of this. So it say the extraordinary case mounted in what is still normally a Christian church with an established church in which the head of state serves as supreme governor was brought against armed forces veteran and throat cancer survivor John Donne after the police referred him to prosecutors for telling a lesbian couple that it says in the Bible that homosexuals will not inherit the kingdom of God in Swindon, which it does in Romans 1. And it's also in the laws. Okay, it's in Leviticus, it's in Leviticus, it's in Deuteronomy. Okay, so it say whether a statement of Christian beliefs or not, the court is being asked to consider whether the language has the potential to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. The CPS wrote to the courts when pursuing the case in a document quoted by the Belfast Newsletter. This document is not the forum for religious debate, but the Bible contains other materials recognizing slavery, Exodus 21 and 7, the death sentence, Exodus 35 and 2, and Leviticus 24 and 16, and cannibalism, Deuteronomy 28 and 27. Hold on, because the scriptures does say that, okay? The Lord said we was going to eat our children in the besiege. Let me look real quick. I know in Deuteronomy 28, the Lord say we should eat our children in the besiege. Just to make sure, Deuteronomy 28 and 27 reads, no, that's not talking about that. But it say, the Lord will smite thee with botch of Egypt, and with hemorrhoids, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Okay. Well, going into the besiege, when it said the Lord said, thou shalt eat thy children, it is in here. It's in let's see here. It's Deuteronomy 28. Right here, verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee in the siege, and in the straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee. So it say again, this document is not the forum for religious debate, but the Bible contains other material recognizing slavery. Exodus 21, which they got 21 and 7, which is actually 21 and 16. As it reads, Exodus 21 and 16, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, well, if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So they use in different scriptures. I don't know if this is, to kind of divert or whatever, but they use in scriptures. It said the death sentence is they also got Exodus 35 and 2. Let's see what Exodus 35 and 2 say. 6 days should thy work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest, the Lord of the Lord to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. So they're using this the death sentence. Okay, whatever. Then they got Leviticus 24 and 16 and cannibalism, right? Let's see what it reads. Leviticus 24 and 16. It says, he that blasphemes the name of the Lord, he shall surely be put to death, and our congregation shall certainly stone him as, as well a stranger, as he that is born in the land when he blasphemes the name of Yahweh should be put to death. Well, all these Edomites should be put to death because all they do is blaspheme the name of the Lord, man. This devil said God is dead and Yahweh Shah is fake news. But anyway, it say the prosecutor exerted sloppily, as it turns out, as Deuteronomy 28:27 actually makes no reference to cannibalism. No, it don't. They're talking about being smart with our hemorrhoids, the plagues of Egypt. It say there are references in the Bible which are simply no longer appropriate in modern society and which would be deemed offensive if stated in public. The CPS inserted. Hey, and that's the whole end. Listen, what people are finding out is the Lord is not the Lord is not all love, man. That's what the world is finding out. That Yahweh Shema Shah ain't all love, man. Okay? So it say, jumping down, it said a suggestion by the Crown that there are parts of the Bible which are simply no longer appropriate in modern society and which would be deemed offensive if stated in public is one that is accepted would have significant constitutional implications. A Christian theologian consulted by the Christian Legal Center to formulate a defense for Mr. Dunn argued, citing the fact that the Bible has had a unique status within British constitutional history and was, for example, presented to the Queen, to the late Queen Elizabeth II at her coronation. It say, "Our gracious Queen, to keep your Majesty ever mindful of the law and the gospel of God as the rule for the whole life and government of Christian princes. We present you with this book, the most valuable thing this world affords." And even this guy, Theodore Roosevelt, said that a thorough knowledge of the Bible, he said a thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. It say, "Here is wisdom. This is the royal law. These are the lively oracles of God," she was told as the holy book was presented to her. So this is what the Queen pushed over there in the UK. It say, "These arguments were not accurately tested in court. However, as the case against Mr. Dunn ended up being dropped, not because prosecutors had a change of heart, but because the two women who accused him reportedly refused to engage with the case after making the initial allegations, according to Christian Concern, which works alongside the Christian Legal Center." So the women didn't want to go no further with the case. So you see, if this is going on in the UK, let's read some more of this. It say, "What has been more concerning for some in Dunn's case is the seeming disinterest in his plight from various churches in the British Isles, and the fact that other British prosecution services refused to say they will act as the CPS did. The Belfast newsletter asked the Public Prosecution Service for Northern Ireland and Scotland, which Scotland mean black land. It's a retained criminal justice system separate from that in England and Wales due to their history as independent kingdoms. If they shared the CPS view on biblical quotes being criminal, but it will only say that this is not a PPS case, so we are not in a position to provide comment. The Church of England, Church of Ireland, Presbyterian Church of Ireland, and English Catholic Church all declined to comment. The last of these, in particularly disingenuous terms, suggested that as this case didn't result in a confliction, there is nothing we can add at this point. So, hold on, get rid of this pop-up. Salaki. They say Mr. Dunn, for his part, said he was relieved and grateful that the case had been dropped and that he planned to continue to preach on the streets of Swindon. Of course, because that gave him some lift up that, hey, the Lord is dealing with him. Hey, the Lord say, and go to the highways and hedges, man. In Luke 14 and 16 through 23, Matthew 22, man. 5 on down. Go to the highways and hedges and be it to the marriage, man. Okay? Proverbs 1, it say, when I preach, I only ever say what is in the Bible. And that's what we telling you, man. See, this is every time you see these different type of new articles like this, and the Wadi Habba Shema Shah, man. Because I was watching the elders, which I always do at the plantation at night when they go live around about 11 or so. They had played this article. I told them, like, send me this, man, because this is heavy, man. This is in the UK. I got a couple other articles I'm going to show in a minute. It say, when I preach, this is the guy done. I only, I only ever say, I only ever say what is in the Bible. When my accusers told me they were in a same-sex marriage, I was concerned for them and had to communicate the consequences of their actions based on what the Bible say. And that's what we're telling you. We're just telling you what the Lord say. Okay? You either can get it or not. We're just telling you what the Lord say. I wanted to warn them, and what the Lord say in Ezekiel 33, Ezekiel 3, and Ezekiel 2, give them warning from me. Okay, now I don't know if this was a Jake or whatever, or was he talking to two Jake females? We don't know, but whatever. I wanted to warn them, not out of condemnation, but out of love. He said in comments quoted by Christian Concern, I wanted them to know that there is forgiveness through the love of Yahushua. He added, Christian Legal Center Chief Executive Andrea Williams lamented that the persecution had ever been attempted, saying that it was extraordinary that the persecution speaking on behalf of the state could say that the Bible contains abusive words which, when spoken in public, constitute a criminal offense. And that's what it's going to be everywhere, man. That's what's going to happen in Babylon the Great, man. Speaking out of the scriptures is going to be a criminal offense. So let's get this. This is beautiful, man. Right. Going to the gaps, man. What is that? Ezekiel 30, 13 and 5. Hey, this is beautiful, man. Because this is coming, which is a famine of the word, man. So now this is an article the elder brother Amawanga Barhat did a few years ago. And it was from California. This is what they say. It's an old article from 2017. And I thought when I was watching the video, I thought about this article, so I had to pull it up last night. I was pulling it up. I had to go through Google for a minute to find this. So this was an article from 2017. I remember the elder did a lesson on this. It said California Christians must now register Bibles as assault weapons. Because because the words of the Lord, man, the words of the Lord is cold. So as I always say, whoever came up with that slogan, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. That's a lie, man. That is a complete lie. So it say California Christians must not register Bibles as assault weapons. This was from May 30th, 2017. It's a Sacramento, California. It's in a blow to believers across the West Coast. A new assembly bill signed into law by Governor Jerry Brown Tuesday will require Christians in the state to register Bibles of all sizes, shapes, and translation versions as assault weapons. Many national public safety groups and political action committees praised the new law, saying that it will foster safer and more tolerant communities and save many people from having to hear words that conflict with their own worldwide uh, uh, presuppositions, right? It said, really, this bill should be implemented nationwide, proclaiming freedom from religion. Co-President Dan Barker, California is blazing a trail for civil rights once again as the rest of the country lags behind. There is just no place for these dangerous assault Bibles. Oh, it's a there is no place for these dangerous assault Bibles in a civilized society. This isn't the Wild Wild West anymore. These people is crazy, man. It's a already known to have strict laws restricting the sales and possessions of assault weapons. This will expand the definition of an assault weapon to include any Bible, book quoting significant portion of the Bible, and even the dreaded high capacity study Bibles, which combine the scriptures with commentary, creating an even more devastating assault of truth. These people is crazy, man. These people is crazy. These people is crazy. It said the official definition of an assault weapon will now be read as any weapon that has a pistol grip that protrudes from the bottom of the stock, a magazine, or a double column alignment of dangerous words that cut and pierce sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of spirit, bone, and marrow. It's a these deadly study Bibles. This is the Bible study Bibles, the one that got the precepts in it. These deadly study Bibles can spit out 30 or 40 verses per page. And they explain the historical, grammar, grammar, grammatical, grammatical content and exurgate the text. Governor Brown explained to reporters after signing the bill. Hey, this is crazy, man. But it makes sense. The words of the Lord, man. So, as that, what they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words should never hurt me, man. Hey, these devils is hurt, man. These devils is hurt, man. This is beautiful. So let me get this last one. And that's why we had this. That's why we had this. I'm cracking myself up over here. This is too funny. And that's why we had this happen, man. That's why we had this happen. 22, man. Remember this? You in the on dangerous conspiracy theories that was not secretly manipulated by global elite. Yes, it is. So let me get a few pre-sales, man. This is Fisher Turn 104. Shalom to all the Akim I walk on the comment board. Shalom, Yahba Shema Bashar Barakatham. For tuning in. Put Ecclesiastes 28:17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. Fire. The water. Yeah, man. And he put up an article also. It says ChristianPost.com news. Seattle police arrest street preacher reading the Bible. I'm going to pull that up when I'm done. Yeah, man. Again, Sirach 28:17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones, man. Hey, the words of the Lord is destroying these devils, man. Because they hurt. These devils is hurt, man. Why? Because it's truth, man. It's truth. So I want to read a few of these precepts I got. So I want to start here in Job 15:21. It reads, a dreadful sound is in his ears. A dreadful sound is in his ears, which is what? Their kingdom falling. And everything that they have done in the earth, they got to pay for it, man. Okay? And on top of everything that they have done in the earth that they got to pay for, they got to go into slavery, man. Because this ain't talking about you paying everything back with gold and silver. No, you got to pay this back with your life, man. First hard labor, and then you're going to get put to death, man. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. So first it's this dreadful sound in their ears, and then They're gonna be destroyed, man. This is Job 18:9. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. Who is the robber that's going to prevail against them? It just said it in Job 15:21. Okay, the robber is a destroyer, man. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. So this destroyer in Job 18:9, it say the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. This verse is 13, Job 18:13. It shall devour the strength of his skin. It say, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. Who's the firstborn of death? It's Yahushua, man. Okay? The firstborn of death is Yahushua. This is Job 21:31. It reads, who shall declare his way to his face? Okay, remember it said in Job 15:21 that dreadful sound is in his ears. Who shall declare his way to his face? It's the messengers of the Lord, man. Who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him? And who shall repay him what he have done? See, first the words of the Lord, and then Yahweh shall gonna come and finish them off, man. This is Isaiah 13:2. It reads, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, and that high mountain is North America, Babylon the Great. And the banner that's being lifted up is Yahweh Shema Shai, is the words of the Lord, man. It's the judgments of the Lord, man. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, right? The high mountain in North America, Babylon the Great. The lifting up is the judgments of the Lord, man. The words of Yahweh Shema Shai. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. It's also a standard, man. You're either going to conform and comply to this standard, or you're going to stay conformed and comply to Esau Edom standard. You're going to get put to death, man. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And this is what happening, man. Remember what it said in Psalm 149, right? His kings shall, let me get it real quick. In Psalm 149, it reads, verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, right? These that's in high places, man. So this is Isaiah 19:16. The Lord says, shake the hand at them that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And then you had these devils down here in Florida to introduce this bill about how whites, Edomites, Job 9:24s, should not feel guilty about having Negroes in slavery, man. About what their forefathers did to so-called Negroes, man. Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, man. Okay, they're trying to pass a bill for them not to feel some type of way or what happened to the Israelites, man. They're trying to pass a bill down here for that, man. This is Isaiah 19:16. And that's what the Lord say. Hey, remember, man. He's gonna put us in remembrance. Ain't no forget none of this. And as I was doing a lesson yesterday, the third from the first to the third industrial revolution, man. Jake was still in slavery, man. Okay. The last one, the third industrial revolution was in 1969, man. And we was able to jump in the race in 1964, man. You think this, man? Listen, you devils is not gonna run away, man. You ain't finna, like in these John Wayne movies and these Clint Eastwood movies. You ain't just finna ride off in the sunset on a horse, man. No, you got to pay for this, man. So none of these devils is terrified, man. And they should be. And they should be, man. And like the apostles and the elders, like Elder Yash Roman saying, hey, Vocab Malone and what's his other guy name? Michael Brown. Hey, these Edomites are terrified, man. They terrified, waking up in cold sweats, man, because they know it's the truth. They know the Edomites ain't done away with, man. Prophecies say different. As a matter of fact, hold on. You got people, you got men, you got men that wrote these books, right? So like you bear with me for a second here. Now you got men that wrote these books. Who is Esau Edom? Who is Esau Edom? Um, this book, The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomites, right? By William Beeston. You got Who is Esau Edom by Charles Wiseman, right? What's this book? Hold on. Apostle Tahar mentioned this book some years ago, right? The book is titled America in Prophecy, right? And the author is E.G. E.G. White. America in Prophecy by E.G. White, right? Hold on. Let me show it to you real quick. Let me come back to me. So this is a book titled America in Prophecy, okay, by E.G. White. America, and he's talking about the so-called white man in that book. This is Who is Esau Edom? Okay, Who is Esau Edom? By Charles Wiseman. You got this book right here, The Roman Empire, The Empire of the Edomite by William Beeston. So you got Vocab Malone and these slow bellies talking about Esau Edom is done away with. Well, here is books. This book of this guy, Charles Wiseman. I'm gonna read it from the page. Let me pull this back up. I'm gonna read it from the page. As it say, this is page 7, right? Hold on here. This is page 5. It's a This legacy of Esau Edom. It said to help answer questions of who is Esau Edom, the first necessary step is to examine the racial and genealogical history of Esau and his descendants. Life and history of Esau. Esau was the firstborn of Isaac and thus was heir to the birthright, derived from the direct racial lineage of Adam to Noah to Abraham. Thus Esau was racially an Adamite, a Shemite, and a Hebrew, the racial stock of the white race. The racial stock of the white race. So here is Charles Wiseman saying that the Edomites are the racial stock of the white race. And who is Vocab Malone and James White and anybody else for that matter? Daughters, these demons of Zion talk about Esau as Japhet. If the so-called white man told you that he's an Edomite, who is anybody else, man? We talking about people that wrote books and said that they are the Edomites. So who the hell is Vocab Malone, man? He's nobody. He's nobody, man. No, hey, we don't need their validation. The Lord already said it in Psalm 64, man. They shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. So what we see is these devils is hurt, man. This is Isaiah 19 and 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shook over it, which I read in Isaiah 13 and 12. Because as it said in Job 15 and 21, a dreadful sound is in their ears. Okay? And that's these devils being destroyed, man. Their kingdom is falling through the words of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. First the words, and then Yahweh Shah going to come and finish them off, man. Jeremiah 50 and 43. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail, man. Okay, these devils is terrified, man. We don't gotta see them. We already know it. The Lord said it, man. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, without power and signs and lying wonders. Okay? The so-called white man with his pseudo signs, right? And what does it say in Timothy's? 1 Timothy 6 and 19, it reads, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Falsely so called. And what is that? Let's get it real quick in the blue letter. It's their pseudoscience, man. So none of these niggas, these devils sitting around, you see them, they sitting around together trying to figure out, hey, and the Lord said he made the world for Israel's sake, man. We can't even imagine what these devils are saying about us in these WEF and these G Summit meetings, man. Let's get this blue letter. We can't even imagine, but we have an idea. We definitely have an idea. We know, man. So 1 Timothy 6 and 19. 1 Timothy 6 and 20. So like you want to get this word here for science falsely. Let's see what it say for the falsely so-called. See it go back, same thing. Let's play it here.
Strong's G 5581. Pseudonymous. Pseudonymous.
See, it's pseudos. It's a untruly named, falsely so-called, falsely named. Okay? O Timothy, 1 Timothy 6 and 20. Keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. When you go to, let's go back to this in 2 Thessalonians. See, this is all they got, man. And it's failing. See, this is their enchantments. And their enchantments is not working anymore, man. So it says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Now it say, right? Let me look this up real quick. Now look, this is for the word wonders, right?
Strong's G 5059. Teras. Teras.
It's a miracle. It's a prodigy miracle performed by anyone. It's a miracles, right? Wonder. Now when you go to what is that in Revelation? Hold on, let me get this word here first, and then we'll go to Revelation. Lion, which is pseudos.
Strong's G 5579. Pseudos. Pseudos.
It's a in a broad sense, whatever is not what it seemed to be. Of perverse, impious. Let's look this word impious up real quick. Let's look this up. See what it say. One of the words is impious.
Impious.
Not showing respect or reverence, especially for a god. It's a not showing respect. It's a similar words, godless, ungodly, unholy, sinful, unrighteous, okay, profane. Ooh, profane, blasphemous, disrespectful, atheist, atheist, uh, what is this? Agnostic, pagan, heathen, faithless, non-believing, unbelieving, disbelieving, doubting. Ooh, it got profane and blasphemous, heathen. This is fire, man. This is fire. So it's a lie for the word pseudos, conscious and intentional falsehood, of perverse, impious, deceitful precepts, falsehood. So, in one of the other words for wonders, it said in line wonders, right? In line wonders. One of the words for wonders, it said miracles, right? So when you go to Revelation, what is that? Revelation 13 and 14, it said, it say, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders. You see, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, which they did that, right? They dropped bombs on Bosnia and Yugoslavia, right? NATO did, and then Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which as Apostle Ramlock went into, they bombed 62 cities, okay? Japanese cities, man, 62. It said in verse 14, and deceived them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles. Now you got this guy, and the brother Kazak Bunyan Howard just sent me a clip, article, which I did a lesson on a couple years ago when they had this guy. They put this the MOTB in him. He was able to move his limbs. So the article the brother just sent me today was this devil putting these MOTBs in to make people see. Okay, to make people see, you got the paraplegics, you got the paraplegics, you got the quadriplegics, you got the ones that got dementia, Alzheimer's, however you pronounce it, right? These different ailments, right? It say, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Because they ain't real miracles. They're using what? Witchcraft, enchantments, man. Let's get this. When you go to Revelation 18 and 23, it says, and the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. For by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. Why do you think these devils then legalize marijuana all over the four corners of North America, Babylon the Great? Because they need everybody drugged out, man. Everybody is drugged out and not focused, man. Okay? What's the word? Um, when you on dope, everybody is what's the word they use? Um, I was about to say discombobulated. What's the word? It's another word. Nobody's paying attention, for lack of a better word, man. I forgot the word it is. This is the word sorcery. It said by thy sorceries, right? It said by thy sorceries where everybody, where all the nation deceived, man. Not strung out. That's a word, but it's a more of what they call a medical term. Like when everybody's Everybody is delusional, man. I forgot the word. I can't think of it right now. I know it'll come to me after I'm done with the lesson. So this word sorcery is
Strong's G 5331. Pharmakeia. Pharmakeia.
it said the use or the administering of drugs, poisoning, sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it, the deception and seductions of idolatry. And what it says seductions. And what did Eve say? The serpent beguiled me, which means to be seduced, man. Okay, sorcery, witchcraft. It say G 5332. It got medication, pharmacy, magic, literally sorcery, witchcraft, man. Man, I'm trying to think of this word, man. I can't think of it. But it just everybody is not focused on what's important, man. Because everybody is on weed. Man, and when they legalized marijuana, man, people just went plumb crazy, man. Everybody is on weed, sipping lean, popping pills. The world is strung out on pills. Everybody on pills, man. Pills, weed. And now they talking about these devils. 10 of these here in Orlando or here in Florida, period. But Orlando, they using these Circle K's, and they putting dispensaries at the Circle K's, man. So everybody is on weed and just doing whatever they want to do, man. You already got people that overuse liquor, right? They overuse drugs, pills, lean, and they didn't legalize marijuana everywhere. But this is how Esau want our people, man. He want everybody delusional and just not functioning, man. Cause nobody cares. And when they is functioning, it's on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or Facebook, one of these social media sites. Everybody is distracted, man. Everybody distracted while these devils is transforming to a digital society, man. This is madness. But it's supposed to be this way. This is Hosea. Going back to this, because these devils is hurt, man. The words of the Lord is killing these devils. This is Hosea chapter 6 and 5. It reads, the words of Yahweh Shema Bashah is hurting these devils, man. So again, words break bones like sticks and stones. They hurt. Therefore have I healed them by the prophets. What's heal, man? What's heal? Let's get this word heal. Let's get it here. The Lord said he's healing them, man. Let's get healed here. Here's the word heal.
Hew.
Chop or cut something, especially wood or coal, with an axe, pick, or other tool. Similar words say chop, hack, cut down, fell, lop, I say axe, cleave, cut, carve, shape, fashion, chip, hammer. So the words of the Lord, again, Hosea 6 and 5, therefore have I healed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. And these devils is exposed, man. Everybody see these devils for who they really are, man. Why? Because of the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. Jeremiah 5 and 14 reads, wherefore thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. Right? In Jeremiah 20 3 and 29, it reads, "Is not my word like a fire? Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? So if the words of the Lord breaks rocks, how much more bones, man?" So, if the brother put his precept up and read this again, this fire, it's a turn 104. Sirach 28 and 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones, man. And if these devils doing this in UK, hey, it was the Lord, and it's the Lord that's doing this, man. Remember, it's Yahweh Shema Bashar that's doing this because he's saving the best for last, man. He's saving the best for last. So, yeah, I just the elders went into this last night, and I asked the elder if he could send this to me because I want to go into. Oh, matter of fact, let me pull it back up because this is beautiful, man. Cause these devils, hey, they said they had to drop the case because of the two chicks. The Lord put the spirit on them chicks. Hey, the Lord cold, man. Because the Lord put the spirit on them chicks to walk by that guy, whoever that guy is that was out there doing the street teaching, and to tell them that they got to pay for, if they don't stop being lesbians, they're going to pay for that, man. The Lord going to judge them for it. So the Lord put the spirit on them to walk by him to get told their judgment, and the Lord put the spirit on the two women to drop the case, man, against the guy. So they had to drop the case against the guy. Why? Because the guy was standing out there, man, telling them their judgment for being lesbians, man. Hey, the Lord is cold, man. And then the case got dropped, man. Okay, because the two chicks, they didn't want to go further with the case. So the Lord put the spirit on them to walk by the guy to get that judgment and to drop the case, man. Hey, because whoever the guy is, he was doing the right thing, man. Oh, let me get it. The Lord is cold, man. You can't make this up, man. This is Luke 14 and 16. It reads, hey, the Lord had them females to go past the guy, get their judgment, and the Lord put the spirit on them to tell the courts they don't want to persecute the guy, man. That's the Lord, man. Luke 14 and 16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuses. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must need go and see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, so here's a guy, he said he brought some ground, he brought some land, right? He asking the Lord to excuse him from being bidden to the wedding, man, to the feast, right? To the supper. So he done brought some land. Another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. So this guy is a herdsman. Okay, he deal with cattle. Okay, so now he want to go and prove his cattle. Another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So now you got some slow-bellied nigga that let his woman pull him away from the truth. Which we had a brother that used to come out. Okay, Ephraimite brother. We like, man, we need us an Ephraimite brother in the camp. Okay, listen, man. This man gave us excuses and said the reason he couldn't come to camp the next week. He was new, you know. He was like his girl was complaining about the Saturday, and he had to take her out. Man, the Lord judged that brother too, man. The Lord put a heavy judgment on that brother, man. Okay. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and the lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed, and the halt and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. Okay? So, hey, we telling you, man, these devils, the famine of the word is coming, man. Famine of the word is coming. That's what this is, man. UK government prosecutors argues parts of Bible no longer appropriate in modern society, man. And this is going to be everywhere. And Lord willing, we ready for it, man. That's why we getting it right now, man. Get it right now while you can. Let's get this. Get it right now while you can, man. Amos 8 and 11 reads, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, power that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fat virgins and young men faint for thirst, man. Okay? The words of the Lord is being turned off, man. Slowly. Let me get this. What was that? Second Ezra. This Second Ezra chapter 5, it reads, Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. You see? So this truth is being taken away, man. Slowly. Slowly. It's being taken away. This is Amos 5 and 13. It reads, Therefore the prudent shall keep silent in that time, for it is an evil time. So it's a time coming when the prudent gonna keep silent, man. And the Lord is, hey, listen, understand this, man. This is the Lord showing us that He's about to take the words He's about to take His words away, man. That's what this is. He's about to take the words away, man. And then what? And then come the evil. Amos 5 and 13. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silent in that time. What time? Jacob's trouble, for it is an evil time. Jacob's trouble, man. Why? 2/3. 2/3. What they said, let's get this in Proverbs. It's Proverbs 1 and 20. It reads, Wisdom crieth without, she utter her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she utter her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? In the scorners delight in their scorners, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation and destruction, cometh, it said, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. They would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. Therefore, should they eat of the fruit of their own way, of your own way, okay, whatever you got going on now. And as Yash had mentioned one time, the brother from Mississippi, he had mentioned whatever Jake love to glorify in right now, whatever Jake love glorifying now, money, women, whatever it is, whatever, guns, whatever you like glorifying right now, that's gonna have to save you in that day, man. Okay? That's gonna be your God in that day, man. That's gonna have to say whatever Jake love glorifying now, That's gonna have to save you in Jacob's trouble, man. Proverbs 1:31. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. You see? But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. In Isaiah 66. Hey, the Lord say, I mean, listen, the Lord is calling you right now, man. Pick up the phone, Jake. Isaiah 66:4. I also eschew the delusions. Because see, it's all the Lord, man. I also eschew the delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Whatever Jake is terrified in, and you know, women scared of spiders, they scared of frogs. Okay, you got a chick that's scared of frogs. Oh, you gotta do it through a frog on her ass. She gonna have a heart attack. I also will chew their delusions and will bring fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. The Lord is calling, but because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. You see, in Psalms, this is Psalms, what is that? 81, I think it is. Psalms 81:10, it reads, I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. Okay? Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lusts, and they walked in their own counsels. So, as the brother said, whatever Jake glorify in now, that's gonna have to save you in Jacob's trouble, man. Let's get it. In Hosea 4:6, it reads, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I also will reject thee. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast, and the Lord made the priesthood to all 12 tribes, man. How beautiful. It ain't just to the Levites no more. It's to all 12 tribes now. It say, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Here we go. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. Okay? So whatever Jake glorifying right now is going to be your shame in Jacob's trouble, man. And these devils is dead serious on what? It's a UK government prosecutors argues parts of the Bible no longer appropriate in modern society, man. Do you understand what that means? These devils is terrified, man, because it's the words of the Lord, man. Oh, the Lord said in Ezekiel 39:7, it reads this. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. Nate and everybody else that don't want to call on Yahweh Shah. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. How? By magnifying his name, man. Okay? I'm going to close with this. This is Isaiah 42:13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. And that's what the Lord is doing. Okay, with these back and forth little small little proxy wars, right? With the division that's going on in America with the truth of the 12 tribes of Israel, with the so-called Jews, okay, with the Jews and the so-called Jew, with the Jews and the Jewish, with the Israelites and the Israelis. The Lord is stirring up jealousy like a man of war, man. Okay, the separation between these slow-bellied jakes that want to straddle the fence. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yell, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. You got Esau, Edom, these Job 9:24s, their whole system is divided, man. Okay? That's why the scripture tell you that they had two horns like a lamb, but spake as a dragon, man. Okay, that draconian measures, was that Mark 3? The house divided, man. The Lord has got division all through the earth, man. It say verse 14, I have long time hold of my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And they tell you in Daniel's 2, man. The Lord say that these Edomites, these Job 9:24s, they shall mingle themselves with the seeds of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, man. Okay? The Lord is making a separation of these devils, man. And now they are standing out like a sore thumb, man. They standing out. Now everybody pushing, even though you got the 7-head beasts, which is these Edomites, these Job 9:24s, but there's a separation, man. There's always been a separation, and there's going to be a separation, and that's why I say, like yesterday in the lesson, when they talking about a part of the Agenda 2030 is bringing peace, to all nations. When that happened, that's it, man. It'll tell you in Ezekiel 7 and also in 1 Thessalonians 5, man. When that happened, that's it, man. But ain't gonna be no peace here. The Lord said it. Let me get it right here in Isaiah. What is that? Isaiah, is it Isaiah 47? I think it is. No, 46. Hold on, let's see. In Isaiah 48, in verse 22, it reads, there is no peace, saith Yahweh, unto the wicked. So it ain't gonna be no peace, man. It ain't gonna never be no peace, man, until Yahweh returns, man. Ain't gonna be no peace, man. It's finna be division. The Lord said he's stirring up jealousy like a man of war. There will never be peace, man, in Babylon the Great. Nowhere else in the earth, man. Because of the devil had to be removed first, man. So Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop, and that is a great millstone who teach well. Who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready concepted and nigh, and a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the 4 winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the outwalk who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning, Lord was edifying. To next time, I must say shalom. Walk about for tuning in. May you help by Shema shall continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. 8, the water for your precepts, the water.